Some love stories are sweet, some are tragic, but The Notebook is unforgettable because it isn't just about falling in love, it's about holding onto it when everything else slips away. From the moment an old man opens a worn out notebook and begins to read, we're pulled into a tale that isn't really about youth or passion. It's about memory, loss, and the desperate fight to keep alive when time itself becomes the enemy. This isn't just a romance, it's a reminder of what it means to love, even when the world tells you to forget. We'll begin talking about how memory was used as a storytelling device. The structure of The Notebook wasn't linear. We begin not with Noah and Allie as young lovers, but with a man reading to a woman in a care home. This framing device sets the tone. The story isn't about whether they fall in love, it's about whether love can survive memory, loss, class divides, and the passage of time. Now, Nicholas Sparks' novel gave us the blueprint, but Nick Cavatt's direction uses this device to transform a simple romance into a meditation on memory. The use of cross-cutting between the past and the present visually reminds us that love stories eventually fade into memory, but some are worth holding on to. As the movie goes on, we're introduced to the performances that sell the emotion. When Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams didn't just play lovers, they embodied them. Gosling famously lived in Charleston before filming to become the Noah, learning carpentry and even building furniture seen in the movie. Meanwhile, McAdams balances Allie's youthful recklessness with deep vulnerability. Their chemistry was raw and unpolished, passionate fights followed by passionate realizations. That balance between chaos and tenderness is what made their relationship believable. When they argue, it feels like real love, messy, imperfect, but unstoppable. Now, talking about the cinematography and the atmosphere of the film, the South Carolina backdrop played a role of its own, from the wide open fields to the quiet waters where Noah and Allie row through a lake of swans, every scene drenched in nostalgia. The cinematographer Robert Fraze often shoots Noah and Allie in natural light, giving the romance a warmth that feels both timeless and fleeting. The contrast this with the clinical grey interiors of the nursing home, where the lighting is colder and more distant. The visual storytelling mirrors the fragility of the memory, bright and vivid, in youth faded with a muted old age. Now, exploring themes of class and choice. At its heart, The Notebook isn't always about choice. Allie is caught between two worlds, the stability and wealth of Lon Hammond and the raw authenticity of Nola Calone. They weren't just a cliche love triangle. It's about how society shapes who we're supposed to love versus who we're actually drawn to. The class divide isn't just an obstacle, it's the film's most human question. Do we choose safety or do we choose passion? Talking about the tragedy of time, the real heartbreak of The Notebook wasn't the fights or separations. It's that love itself has an expiration date, not because it fades, but because the memory does. When Allie doesn't recognize Noah in the nursing home, the audience isn't forced to face the inevitable truth. No matter how strong, love can be taken away from us, beyond forces. And yet Noah's persistency, reading their story over and over again, reframes the narrative. Love is not just passion. Love is commitment, ritual, and the willingness to remind someone who they are, even when they've forgotten it. Think about it. Most love stories end at happily ever after, but Nicholas Sparks and the director didn't just give us that luxury. Instead, they gave us something like an ending disguised as a beginning. The film starts with memories slipping away, and only then do we dive into the vibrant youth of Noah and Allie. That framing changes everything. The Notebook isn't just about two people falling in love. It's about two people holding onto love when the world tries to take it from them. When we watch Allie and Noah, we're not just simply watching a romance. We're watching time fight against them. Class divides, parental pressure, war, and even illness. They're all just different faces of the same inevitable truth. Love, no matter how strong, exists in a world that constantly tries to tear us apart, and yet here they are, refusing to let go. And that's why the story hits so hard. That infamous rain scene isn't just about passion, it's about the release. About finally being honest, about choosing love even when it's messy, inconvenient, even when it feels impossible. It's a declaration that love doesn't follow rules, it creates them. And what makes a notebook timeless is not the young love, it's the old love. The kind that lingers in wrinkles, in shaky hands, in the act of reading the same story over and over again, hoping it will spark recognition. It's Noah's patience, his faith, and his willingness to fight against oblivion itself, then transform this film from a simple romance into a story of devotion. This isn't a love story that ends at marriage, it's one that only ends at death. When we think about The Notebook, it's easy to reduce it to rom-com tearjerker, the type of film endlessly quoted in high school and replayed on Valentine's Day marathons, but beneath that glossy surface isn't something raw. A story about how fragile yet resilient love can be when tested by time, class, and memory, and loss. One of the reasons this film grips us so tightly is the way it frames memory as both a gift and a curse. The older that Alzheimer's is not just a plot device, it's an emotional center of the story. Every time Noah reads to her, we feel the weight of love that refuses to be forgotten. In a way, the notebook itself becomes a weapon against time, a desperate attempt to preserve the truth of their bond, even as her mind slowly erases it. And that's what makes the notebook truly tragic.